there's another narrative, if you will, that has taken over the drive-by media. And it is with all of these White House staff changes. You got Bill Daley coming in to replace, what's his name? Chief of Staff. Oh, that's right, Emmanuel. Now you've got some new spokesman coming in to replace Gibbs. The point is, Gene Sperling is coming in the Council of Economic Advisors. New York Times, everybody's excited. All these Clintonistas are coming in. Obama's wised up. He's bringing the Clintonistas back. These are the guys that know what they're doing. These are the triangulators. These are the guys that know how to make everything appear like it's a bunch of centrists, while the real libs keep on wrecking the economy behind everybody's back. And the New York Times has a piece here that trying to assure the fringe kook base everything's fine, despite all these crony capitalists showing back up here. A shift in tactics, not in ideology. Most of the talk in Democrat circles on Thursday, after it became known that Obama had chosen Bill Daley as his chief of staff, was of going back to the 90s. The consensus was that Obama, who once held himself out as the clear alternative to the political expedience of the Clinton years, had in the end chosen the path of Clintonian centrism over a return to more boldly progressive ideals. If the conventional wisdom was right, though, then it was only half right, and it missed the larger significance. This is the Times trying to maintain calm out there. Larger significance of Obama's decision. The president is, in fact, reaching back to the Clinton era, but don't worry. The shift has less to do with ideology than with the theory of presidential power and how to use it. So it's funny. Daley, in fact, I was watching Howard Dean the other day, and Howard Dean was, I like Bill Daley. He's not a liberal. Not by my measure of things. He's very, 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 I mean, he's a conservative guy like, compared to most liberals and Bill Daley. But I like Bill Daley. I like Bill Daley because he's up front with you. I like Bill Daley because he's honest with you. Well, hey, Howard, I'm up front and honest with you. You hate me. And I'm a conservative. So what we have here, folks, and this is the Republicans, this is the kind of media template that everybody in D.C., if they're not on guard for, can fall for. The Times is trying to set the stage here that for their leftist readers that, you got a bunch of crony capitalists. I mean, really, all these people coming in are through the revolving door through Wall Street. These are all guys that have coming in and out of Obama bailed out financial institutions. Goldman Sachs via AIG, JP Morgan, all these other Wall Street banks that got bailouts. That's the revolving door that all these Obama administration people are coming in to fill and leaving and going back to the banks. And the Heritage Foundation today, their opening bell column, the blog has a great analysis of what this actually is, and that's crony capitalism. And the purpose of this is to create for everybody else a public impression of moderation. The socialist Marxist Obama finally realizing that he can't get where he wants to go that way, he has to triangulate. He has to go to the center. And remember, I want to take you back to last fall. I've told you this a couple of times. Got a phone call from the ranking Republican. I have not yet identified the ranking Republican who disagreed with me. I tried to warn the ranking Republican Obama is going to double down on leftism, liberalism. He's going to use executive orders. The ranking Republican disagreed. No. He'll have to, if he wants to get reelected, moderate. He'll have to move in our direction because of the election results. He'll have to move to the center. And lo and behold, on the surface, does it not appear that's what he's doing? Because nobody's calling Daley a left. In fact, what's the story about Daley? The story about Daley is how the left hates him. Oh, how more perfect could you get? Sperling? Bespeckled Gene Sperling? You wouldn't put this guy in a lineup with Saul Alinsky or Marx. He would belong in one, but you wouldn't put him there. And now they're even talking about how the number 1 aide, Valerie Jarrett, she's skating on thin ice. She may be gone soon. All for the purpose of appearance, that the regime is moderating. And this is what I hope the Republicans don't fall for, the appearance. And they might. Everybody wants this. In the media, everybody wants this notion of everybody moving to the center. I mean, that's like Christmas morning to them. So here the regime is making it look like that. Now, the New York Times is who you need to listen to on this. New York Times, because they know who their readers are. And they don't want their readers trudging down to the headquarters in a snowstorm and throwing firebombs at the paper. So good old Matt Bai here. Hey, it's a shift in tactics, not in ideology. Does it? This is going to make it easier for Obama to better use his liberal power. And he may have a point, because while everybody else is marveling and excited over Obama's move to the center, and you got these adults, by comparison anyway, Daley and Sperling in there, Obama is free to go 150% Alinsky, and the rest of his regime, along with the Democrats in Congress, moving in that direction. Well, nobody's looking at it that way. Nobody sees it that way. And then if somebody like me come along, says, oh, these guys, they haven't moderated. Look at, they're still pedal to the metal. Libs, far left. There goes Limbaugh, just can't give it up. You know, he doesn't even care about the truth. Right? You can't have more moderate, even conservative guys. Everybody says Bill Daley's a conservative. Howard Dean said it. So you see how it's being set up. Because this is what everybody wants. But this is one time I would tell you, New York Times has the truth. A shift in tactics, not in ideology. This story even says that Rahm Emanuel, he wasn't a big enough lib. And Larry Summers, he wasn't a big enough lib. Now, Summers, yeah. Emanuel, I don't know who they're trying to kid, but he's also a Clintonista. So the Clintonistas are back. That's the big story today. Obama, and remember now, I don't care what's happened since. The media, the Democrat adults, they established the Clinton years were their nirvana. And if Obama had not been African-American, he had never been elected, it would have been Hillary. And if that had happened, we'd have still had the love affair with the Clintons going on. This is the injection of race into the Democrat primary and overall presidential contest did what the insertion of race does into most subjects. It totally distorts it. And it forced people to, well, expose people in ways that issues without race being inserted do not. Clinton was, I mean, no way during that campaign was Clinton ever going to get away with being called the first black president. They're throwing the race card against Bill Clinton, you see. So anyway, all the Clintonistas coming back. Bill Daley from Chicago, that even better. Gene Sperling, all these adults. Yeah. Now we're getting back to where the Democrat Party wins big. Speaking of race, I'm going to get into this later in the program. Ronald Brownstein, former Los Angeles Times, now at the National Journal. That's the Hotline crew. A long story entitled White Flight. President Obama's path to a second term may rely on states shaped by the same social forces that he embodies. And what this story does, quite graphically, is illustrate that our man-child president of color not only has failed to bring us together, he has driven us further apart by race. And more specifically, in the Democrat Party. It is white Democrats and white independents who have fled Obama and the Democrat Party. This story details how Obama has lost almost all of his white support. Not all, but almost. The re-elect team, we learned in this story, I'm going to give you details as the program unfolds, but Obama's re-election team is looking at the Colorado Senate race. That's between Mike Bennett, Ken Buck. That's their new path to victory, which is right through educated white women. That's the one white group he hasn't lost. Now, we all know that there's been this major push for years and years and years to get women in college. And we know that at most institutions of higher learning, the enrollment rate's 60% female, 40% male. And it's continuing in that direction. It's female enrollment's going up, male enrollment is dropping. And while all this has been going on, girls in college have been indoctrinated in the whole concept of the nanny state and big government, which comes to them naturally anyway in most cases. So that's where they're looking. What Obama's going to have to do, I had a story yesterday about the abortion rate in New York. I mean, maybe I still kept it here in this day. Yeah, I did. I mean, it's 41% of all pregnancies in is a city or state. Regardless, 41% of all pregnancies are aborted, and the vast majority of them are black. So when you talk about African American, you talk about replacement levels of population, and Obama depending on minority votes, they're going to have to expand. That's hello, illegal immigration. They're going to have to expand, according to Ronald Brownstein, they're going to have to get even more minority votes in 2012 if they're to win re-election. Because they've lost whites. The great unifier is lost, except for quote-unquote educated white women. At 41% is New York City, not the state. New York City alone. 38.7 is the number? I thought it was 40. Oh, in the state, the number is 38.7. 38.7 of all pregnancies in the state of New York are aborted. 41% in the city of New York are aborted. The vast majority of them are African American. And that's fewer Democrat votes, which is something we always pointed out. Most abortions in the country are of future liberals. And that is one of the reasons why they're looking at illegal immigration, amnesty as replacement level for Democrat voters. You may think I'm trying to be funny because I'm a great entertainer, but I'm not. It's true. Political analysis.